Here's our Tuesday Maths homework, Term 1, Year 6, 2015. We're going to have a look at placing fractions in order. So the purpose of this is we want students to be able to order fractions from the smallest all the way up through to the largest. This is what it looks like on the Tuesday homework sheet. We're hoping that students can look at this list of fractions and place them from the smallest to the largest. So they're going to have a look at the list up here, and then down here they're going to write down 1, 2, 3 and 4, the smallest all the way through to the largest. Some of the common misconceptions. This is the most common misconception. They have a look at this and they say 1/8, and that's greater than 1/3 because 8's greater than 3, isn't it? That's just logical. Surely that's the case. However, the denominator, which is a bottom number, indicates how many pieces the whole has been cut into. Therefore, the higher the number, the smaller the parts of the fraction. Let me show you what I mean. Here I've got 1/8 on the left, and I've got 1/3 on the right. So as you can see, the 1/8 has a smaller fraction because it's cut into greater parts. However, the third is only cut into 3 parts, so therefore each third is greater than an eighth. Still be aware though, the numerator on the top number, tells you how many parts that is. So in the case here we've got 5/8 is always going to be greater than 1/3, because as you can see, the 5/8 makes up a greater amount than the 1/3. So we don't want students just to look at the bottom number, we want them also to look at the top number and consider that. A way that we can work with that too is we've got the strategy of visualization. So I'd have students draw the fractions out. Let me give you an example. If our list was 1/2, 2/3, 1/4 and 1/8, I'd have students draw out the fractions. So I'd draw out a half, I'd draw out 2/3, I'd draw out a quarter, and then I'd draw out an eighth. And once I've drawn these out, then I'll make a very clear visualization of what they are actually doing. So what is the largest and what is the smallest, and be able to figure it out from there. Something we might want to do is when we're extending the students. So if they can do what was on the previous slide, then that's pretty much ticking the boxes, that's where we want. But if we want to extend students and deal with fractions that are a little more complex and a little closer, we might want them to look for the same denominator. So what I mean by that is any fraction, if you can find a denominator that you can easily compare them with, they're easy to order. So for instance, if I've got 1/2 and 5/8, they're pretty close in terms of fractions, and so it might be hard just to think straight away what one is bigger than the other or smaller. I know that 2 is a multiple of 8, so what I can do is I can multiply the denominator 2 by 4 to get 8, and then the numerator, which is 1, for the 1/2, I multiply by 4 to get 4. So I can see that 1/2 is actually equal to 4/8. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's my half. Now if I multiply, and there's my 5/8, if I multiply my half by 2, you see I'll get quarters, so I've got 2 quarters now. And if I multiply that again, so I've multiplied it in total by 4, you can see now I've got 8s. So my 4/8 is clearly smaller than my 5/8. Just always remember with that rule, whatever you multiply the denominator by, you have to multiply the numerator by.